What is up, my fellow andronauts? Let's talk about coenzyme Q10 on testosterone. In my previous video on MK7 and DHT, I talked about electron acceptors, and this includes coenzyme Q10. So, could an excessive amount of coenzyme Q10 be harmful for your testosterone? Let's dive in. So first up, let's talk about the few benefits of coenzyme Q10. There's a lot of benefits, I'm just going to discuss a few. So in terms of carbohydrates, coenzyme Q10 applied topically can increase the synthesis of hyaluronic acid in skin fibroblasts, so it can make your skin more healthy when applied topically. It supports the electron transport chain, especially in all of the complexes, so it enhances energy production. It's helpful for the synthesis of hormones, for example, insulin from the pancreas. It supports the immune system. It increases the body's production of IgG, and these things, they bind to toxins and prevent them from creating issues in the body. Coenzyme Q10 may facilitate the production of ATP in the mitochondria, so again, energy production. In terms of neurotransmitters, coenzyme Q10, especially when administered concurrently with NADH, can prevent the depletion of dopamine. So I've talked about NADH necessary for the production of BH4, which is a cofactor for dopamine production. Right, so you can check out that video caused by a neurotoxin. Coenzyme Q10 alone may slightly block the depletion of dopamine, and when coenzyme Q10 is administered with NADPH, it totally blocks dopamine depletion. So if you want to be dopamine maxing, coenzyme Q10 with NADH would be a good way to go about it. Coenzyme Q10, and this is in terms of nucleic compounds, may protect the DNA from oxidative damage from free radicals. Coenzyme Q10 may inhibit free radical damage caused by toxins to mitochondrial DNA. So there's a lot of benefits to coenzyme Q10, but primarily the thing here is it supports energy production, and you want to be in a high energy state to create your hormones. So coenzyme Q10, up to now, there's actually been more than 30 research studies that has linked coenzyme Q10 and testosterone. The dose of coenzyme Q10 in human studies range from approximately 200 to 900 milligrams per day for about 2 to 12 month duration, while the utilized dose in animal studies range from 10 milligram per kilogram to 500 milligram per kilogram per day for approximately 5 to 96 days in duration. So obviously, most of the time, they use much higher doses in animals than they would in humans. And this is actually why a lot of these animal studies show that something is beneficial for testosterone, but in humans, not really the same. All right, so this is POR, is a enzyme that utilizes coenzyme Q10. And you can see the spore is a cofactor for many enzymes, steroidogenic enzymes. So if your hormones are low, you might need more coenzyme Q10. And coenzyme Q10 can allow these enzymes to work better, so you can actually start producing hormones. Involved in the conversion of pregnenolone to DHEA, progesterone to androstenedione, and all of the other sub-hormones, progesterone to aldosterone or cortisol, or even to estrone and estradiol. Now, it doesn't increase estrogen, it's not an aromatase stimulant, but it's involved in that enzyme. All right, so here's one study I want to talk about. There's not a lot of pure studies. There's about 30 or more studies linking coenzyme Q10 to testosterone. Doesn't mean they're good studies looking at just coenzyme Q10. So they used a mix of 200 milligrams of coenzyme Q10, 350 milligrams of vitamin E, 750 milligrams of vitamin C, and 200 micrograms of selenium. And I think these guys were infertile, and they wanted to see how all of these antioxidants would affect testosterone. So LH went down from a 9 to a 7. Testosterone increased by 4 nanomole per liter. DHT went from 1.4 to 1.5. And then SSBG dropped a little bit. So free testosterone definitely went up. The reason why LH went down is because the testes are now more sensitive to LH. You don't need as much LH to create testosterone. So LH went down, testosterone went up, which is very common when you use antioxidants, right? I talked about this in my NAC video as well. So 200 milligrams of coenzyme Q10 on LH and testosterone for 26 weeks. It decreased LH by 27% and increased testosterone by 17%. So more or less the same results as the previous study. LH going down and then testosterone going up. This increase wasn't as big as this one. This was a 4-point increase. This was basically a 3-point, a little bit less than a 3-point increase in testosterone. But the point is, again, antioxidants can help to increase testosterone, but it's not going to be that wow. It doesn't seem to have direct stimulatory effects on your steroidogenic enzymes. It can just allow your testes to work better. And then you need other nutrients like zinc, other B vitamins, other minerals for your testes to work properly to actually produce a lot more hormones. So this is the interesting thing about coenzyme Q10. They use it for 26 weeks. You can see that LH decreased, right? The longer they use it. It wasn't like dropping and then plateauing. It was continually decreasing. So I wonder if they just continue to use this for, I don't know, a year, where their LH might have ended up. The same thing with testosterone, right? It kept on increasing the longer they used it, and when they stopped, it started to go back down. But obviously, Coenzyme Q10 is fat soluble, so it stays in your system for a long time. So this is why this decrease took so long. So if you just continue to use it, testosterone might have gone up here from, let's say, 15 all the way up to 20, and then maybe up to 25 after 2 years or something like that. Obviously, it's not the fastest testosterone booster, but it will get you there eventually. All right, then there's another study, 600 milligrams of Coenzyme Q10 on LH and testosterone. So I just realized that I messed up the graph, and this is the same graph as the 200 milligram study that I just showed you. But these results were actually very similar. There was not really a big difference between the 200 milligrams for 26 weeks and the 600 milligrams for 12 weeks. There wasn't a dose difference and also duration difference. So it seems to have plateaued eventually. There was only a small increase in LH and testosterone, like in both studies. So regardless if you're using 200 milligrams or 600 milligrams for half a year or a year, the increase in testosterone seems to be the same. So Coenzyme Q10 is extremely important for overall health, but it's really not one of the best testosterone boosters. It's a great antioxidant to allow your Leydig cells to be more sensitive to LH and to create more testosterone, but it's not a good testosterone booster by itself. Alright, so there you have it. Coenzyme Q10 is helpful, but not very much. It's not a good testosterone booster, but it's still helpful for overall health. If you would like to maximize your testosterone jump on TestoTribe, that's where all the magic happens, where low testosterone goes to die. If you need any help on how to maximize your testosterone, DHT, estrogen, SHBG, gut health, anything related with testosterone optimization, that is the place to be. Link is in the description. So if you see that the doors are closed, I only open doors on the first week of every single month to make sure that quality in the forum stays very high. So if you see the doors are closed, just come back in the beginning of the month if you want to become a member. Alright guys, I hope you learned something new, found this enjoyable, and I will check you in the next one. Cheers guys.